Hi students, in the previous video we seen about the second unit. So in the second unit we discussed about the digital logic gates, that means AND gate, OR gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate, NOT gate, NAND gate, NOR gate, etc. and the PLC representation of the those digital gates and sequence listing and ladder diagrams and one process control, large process control. So what is that large process control? Spray process control system, ladder diagram construction, and the procedure involved in that spray process system we seen. So in this video onwards, we will see about the third unit. So let us see the syllabus of the third unit. So normally the third unit and fourth unit are nothing but functions, PLC functions. Various functions are there in the PLC. So those functions are nothing but timer functions and counter functions and arithmetic functions and number comparison functions and number conversion functions. These are we will discuss it in the third unit, and whereas in the fourth unit also we discussed about the PLC functions itself. So there what are the PLC functions means data handling functions and sequencer functions and PLC matrix functions, and by using those sequencer functions we can control the 3-axis robot and a 2-axis robot. So before going to the functions, PLC functions, we have to know about the all those functions deals with some stored data, some stored data. So stored data means definitely we have to know about the few points regarding the registers. Registers are nothing but storing for the storing purposes. So before going to the PLC functions, we have to discuss about the PLC register. So that's why in the third unit, our unit will be classified into two parts. So the first part is PLC registers and the second part is PLC functions. So in this video, I want to tell about the exclusively PLC registers. So before going to that, let us see the syllabus. So in the PLC registers, characteristics of registers and module addressing, holding registers, input registers, output registers. And the PLC functions are timer functions and its industrial applications, counter functions and its industrial applications, arithmetic functions, number comparison functions, and number conversion functions. So first our topic is registers. So in this registers we discussed about the general characteristics of the registers and module addressing and what are the various types of registers present in the PLCs, and we can classification of those registers and individual description of those registers. So what are the general characteristics of the registers means mainly we see this in the mainly 4 points. So in the PLC CPU we have two registers. We can classify it as the two registers. Those registers are nothing but internal registers and external registers. So internal registers are not directly accessible by the user. These are present in the PLC itself, and this performs the arithmetical operations and logical operations within the processor to carry out their tasks. And some accumulator registers, data registers, and index registers and conditional code registers are also there in the PLC. Those are registers are also comes to the category of the internal registers. Internal registers. And in addition to the internal registers, our CPU, PLC CPU have the some external registers also. Those registers are to hold the variable information, external data information, and in input devices information, and etc. etc. So normally our registers will be nothing but to store the information of anything. That means within the register data or input register data or output register data. So in this manner we can classify our registers in two types: internal registers and external registers. Internal registers are nothing performs the stores the data about the arithmetic and logical operations, and some accumulator registers and some data registers and some index registers and some conditional code registers, and some the to hold the variable information we can go for the other slots. Those slots are nothing but external registers, and each bit location in a register can be observed with the help of a VDT. VDT means video display terminal, and sometimes we may take the printout of those registers also. Then the This content will be represented in the various number systems. So normally we have the number systems are binary number system and decimal number system, etc. But most commonly used number system is decimal number system. And next we have the different registers I already told. So those registers must be represented with some prefixes. So suppose holding registers are there and the output group registers are there and output registers are there. So the holding registers are represented with the prefixes HR and the output group registers can be represented with the OG like that. And the functions of the addresses of the PLC registers can be determined from the operational manual also. Which register performs the which operation, which function, and what is the purpose of the that particular register. This entire data will be present in the operational manual itself. And next, coming to the module addressing. Module addressing means in the register we can store the one address. So that the address representation is nothing but module addressing. So in the overall PLC system we have input modules and output modules and our PLC module and input devices and output devices all are there. So these all are places in one rack. One rack. So while places in the rack, every device will be assigned with one file type and file number and the rack number and the terminal number also. So in this manner, by considering the file type and file number and rack number and group number and terminal number, we can decide the address of that particular device. So that addressing is nothing but module addressing. So this one is the one of the module addressing representing which is given by our John W. Webb in the Allen Bradley PLC. Allen Bradley PLC. So this is the one type of module addressing representation. We have to follow the exactly this is not a compulsory. So this is the one of the module. Different PLCs have different module addressing. So here the first one is nothing but file type. File type, that means whether that file is a input file or output module file. Module, that means file type means module. So whether the module is a input module or output module, this can be decided by the file type representation. So here O means output and one I means input. Here 0 means input and 1 means output also. And next file number. File number specifies the particular IO module. That means which particular IO module input or output. That means here this one file number means this is the input or output and this one is the particular input. Which particular input or output module, that is the input device or output device, can be decided by the in this manner. And next the rack number. At what rack this will be presence can be given by the rack number. And next group number. In that particular rack these all modules are placed in a groups also and the groups are designated with some numbers. So that particular group number also we can represent. So the first one is the file type and the second one is the file number and the third one is the rack number and the fourth one is the group and the last these two numbers represents the terminal numbers. Devices terminal numbers. Devices terminal numbers and these are separated with one. This is called the file delimiter and this is called bit delimiter. In this manner we can represent the addressing of a particular device which is called as module addressing. And the registers, the PLC registers are classified into three types. What are those three types? Holding registers and input registers and output registers. So these input registers are further classified into single input registers and group input registers, and the output registers also further classified into single output registers and group output registers. So normally these input registers are lies between the 8 to 12 number, typically 8 to 12 number, and the holding registers, working or holding registers are nearly 10 times than the input registers. That means 100 to 1000 typically. 100 to 1000 typically. So the holding registers are nearly 10 times of the input registers and the output registers are same number as the input registers. That means 8 to 12 typically. So this is the classification and we will see these registers one by one. So what is meant by holding registers means the registers which holds the information of the calculation data and arithmetical data and logical data, then that type of registers is called the holding register. So for any calculations and for arithmetical operations and logical operations, we may have to store the some values in the particular registers, and that particular register is called holding register. And what are the example for the holding registers are timer function and counter function and arithmetic functions are the example for the holding register. So in the timer function, if you want to delay the some time, then what is the second that the delay time, the delay time will be, we will put in the preset value, and that preset value will be stored in some register. That register is nothing but holding register, and after the preset value exceeds, then the timer output will be makes on. And in the similar fashion, the counter also, we will give the one count value in the as the preset value. That count value we will give in one register, and that register is nothing but a holding register. After completing of this counting value, then that counter will be generates the one output. So the counter may be either DC, that means down counter, or UC, that means up counter. Up counter. So the example for the holding registers are timer functions and counter functions and arithmetic functions. So these two are the syntaxes for the timer function and counter function. So this is the syntax for the timer function, and this is the syntax for the counter function. So in the timer function and the counter function, we have the preset values. So in the preset value represents the in the timer function time delay, and in the preset value in the counter function represents the count delay, count value. And next, the syntax for the holding register arithmetic functions are like this. So in the arithmetic functions means we can go for the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. So in those, if you perform addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, we have to have the two values. So one is the operand 1 and another is the operand 2, and by performing the arithmetic, that means either addition or multiplication or division or multiplication or subtraction, the result will be stored in the another register. That register is nothing but destination register. So operand 1 is a one register, and operand 2 is another register, and destination is the other register. All these registers are holding registers. All these registers are holding registers. And input registers. So what is meant by input register means, if the registers containing the information about the input devices, then that is called the input register. These input registers are classified into two types: single input register and group input register. So here the represented diagram represents the group input registers. So every group represents the 16 input devices information at a time. That means here we have, this is the group register, and this group register consisting of 16 devices information. That means the first one is the one. First one is the one means this particular device will be on. This particular device will be on. And 0 means that particular device will be off. So like that, 16 input devices information will be stored in the single register. So that's why it is called as single input register. So here again 16 is there. So that's why we can represent the another 16-bit register. That 16-bit register is nothing but group input register. So if one register containing the information about the one device, then that is called a single register, single input register. But here one register represents the information about the 16 devices, a group of devices. That's why this is called as group of devices, that too input devices information. So because of that reason, this register is called as input registers. And similarly output registers, that means if the register stores the information about the output devices, then that registers is called are called output registers. So these output registers are also classified into two types, that is either single register or group register. So single register gives the information about the single output device, where one group register which contains the 16 devices information gives the information about the 16 output devices. 16 output devices. So in this is the types of the registers which can be used for analyzing the PLC functions, which are nothing but PLC timer functions, PLC counter functions, and PLC arithmetic functions, and PLC comparison functions, and PLC number conversion functions, which we will see in the next video. Thank you.